Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for being here. This is Mundo Maldini, your channel. The Premier League never disappoints. Here we have a lot of videos, of course, on your Premier League channel. Let's analyze what this 2-2 draw between Liverpool and Fulham has been. Arsenal drew at home with Everton, and Liverpool drew at home with Fulham. Tomorrow, Chelsea plays against Brentford, and we will have, of course, we'll be commentating on Movistar. And here we have Andres Pereira, by the way, the author of the goal for Fulham. I'm saying we'll have the Manchester derby between City and Manchester United, Manchester City and Manchester United. I'm going to comment on it on Movistar at 5:30, and before commenting on Barca Leganés tomorrow night on Cope. Hope I have time. I think I will have time to make a video of whatever that Manchester derby is about. But let's focus on what this Liverpool 2, Fulham 2 has been. I have to say, it's impressive what Liverpool did. I know they didn't win the match. They were down to 10 men in the first few minutes because of Andrew Robertson's red card, which I think was a fair call. With 10 players for almost the entire match, they were able to push hard. They shot more than the opponent. You'll see it later with flash score data, and it was a great match. It was a great match because Fulham also played really well under Marco Silva, who is a fantastic coach, by the way. I think this Fulham doesn't get talked about as much as it deserves, especially since they really made things tough for Manchester City. I remember at City's ground, in the end, City ended up winning, but it was really tough for them. They drew the other day against Arsenal. It's true that at home, Fulham was able to draw at Anfield today, one of the toughest places in the world right now, given the level Liverpool is at. They didn't play their best match of the season, not by a long shot, because playing with 10 men made it really tough. But for me, Liverpool also played a match with a lot of merit, with some tactical changes that I want to analyze in depth, because it's really worth it. All right, let's go. All right, let's go. Friends of Mundo Maldini. By the way, we have quite a few followers in Mexico. The other day, I was looking at the data of those who watch us from outside Spain. Over 2 million IPs a month that tune in, but especially the 200,000 subscribers we have, more than 200,000, and there are quite a few from Mexico. Right now, Pachuca is playing, by the way, against Al Ahly from Cairo in the semi-final of the World Cup. I'm talking about Mexico because Raul Jimenez also had a really good game, showing a lot of movement and understanding what a center forward needs to do. A team like Fulham always offering themselves, linking up, extending plays. I thought Raul Jimenez had an amazing game too. Let's go with the lineups. Friends of Mundo Maldini. Here are the 11 players for the match. Alisson in goal for Liverpool with Arnold, Youssef, Joe Gomez, Van Dijk and Robertson, who didn't last long. Let's see how the team restructured. While being down to 10 men, Graven versus Lobos, Lai and Jones, it's true that at times Jones was dropping a bit deeper, but it was more similar to a 4-3-3 with Gakpo on the left, Salah on the right, and Luis Diaz as the center forward. Darwin Núñez is starting to play less. In fact, he came on in the final stretch of the match. Because of the level Gakpo is at and how well Luis Diaz is functioning as a center forward, which I've tried many times, and it has worked quite well. It makes a lot of sense to see Luis Diaz there in many moments, although I believe his best position is on the left wing, and I don't have many doubts about that. Leno in goal for Fulham. TT, who by the way got injured later. Diop, Cuenca and Robinson. What a spectacular match from Robinson, making the assist for the goal on February 1st to Rodrigo Muniz, who came on in the second half, but it was a great game from Robinson, who ended up completely exhausted. Berge Lukic, double pivot with Andreas Pereira ahead, Wilson on the right foot on the left, Iwobi on the left, and Raul Jimenez with that mobility, he has to move around all sides. I mean, Fulham attacked a lot more down the left than the right, although Wilson also did quite well. And Robinson caused a lot of damage when he got into that area with Jimenez moving around a lot. And of course, the issue for Liverpool is that they went down to 10 men very early. Going down to 10 men so early, we have this quite significant image of Slot desperate about the red card for Robertson. Logically, going down to 10 men so early, the red card for me. By the way, the play with Robertson, it was a match with huge difficulties for Liverpool. But when it seemed like things could change a lot and they could bring on another fullback, Slot in the end, well, it didn't really happen. This is the play, by the way, with Wilson, the play where Wilson gets tackled, moving into a dangerous area. The play was a bit lateral, but I think that after the control, if he doesn't get fouled, he ends up right in front of Alisson. I think the red card is pretty fair, honestly. Here we have Raul Jimenez again with this play against Alisson. Let's take another look at the field, because let's see what Sloth did. Well, it's a team, Liverpool, that was playing at home and had to attack and had to win. They are left without Robertson and start playing with Gakpo quite deep, giving him the whole flank. But in the end, what he ended up doing was moving Joe Gomez closer to the side and pushing Gravenberch further back, making Gravenberch almost play that dual role of centre-back and midfielder. Then, in the second half, Gravenberch moved to midfield, and he's having a great season. He just needed to step in as a centre-back out of necessity, and he did play quite a bit as a centre-back. What I didn't want was for Gakpo to play so deep, taking up the whole flank, because I knew how important Gakpo is, which was proven later on. He ended up closing with 3 at the back for Liverpool in many moments. Then when Darwin Núñez came on, everything changed a lot. He put Luis Diaz on the left, Darwin as the centre forward, and there were several positional changes. But I think the most interesting part has been exactly this. And of course, this moment when they discuss Robertson's red card. For me, it's fair. We haven't seen many Obos light today. We haven't seen many Obos live, but we have seen quite a bit more of Gravenberch and Jones until Gravenberch moved to play in midfield. I've definitely mentioned the left wing, which has been spectacular, Fulham's left wing. And in the end, it worked out really well for them. Here we have Robertson desperate about his red card. I mean, it worked out really well for Sloth to move Gakpo back up front, because in the end, Gakpo, after a good cross from Salah, gets a ball from the left side. The ball flies across the area, and Gakpo arrives at the far post to equalize. Gakpo is a player who is in great form. He's in excellent shape, and Liverpool has to take advantage of that as they are using him as a forward. So in the end, being without a left back and giving him the whole field for back and forth was practically killing them. I think the decision was good. That's the moment of the goal, by the way. That shot from Gakpo that scored the equalizer in the second half. This is the red card for TT, by the way. I mean, in the second half, Liverpool was pushing hard. They got the goal right at the start of the second half. We have Gakpo shot again, but then came that counterattack from Robinson for Rodrigo Muniz's goal, although I think it could even be an own goal. And from there, Liverpool went all out on the attack. They started bringing in forwards. Diego Jota came on, and they ended up playing with practically 4 forwards and closing with almost 2, sometimes 3. But anyway, it was a team completely focused on attacking, and logically they got there, managed to equalize. There we have Gakpo's goal. They equalized with that shot from Diego Jota, and in the end, honestly, they were close to winning the match. This is Rodrigo Muniz's goal. Here we have him with Iwobi and Wilson. They were close to winning the match in several plays. It would have been amazing if they had been able to win the match at Liverpool, but they couldn't do it. In the end, the victory was for him. Sorry, the draw, which is almost a victory, obviously, for this man's team, Andreas Pereira, a Fulham player who, I must say, is making it really, really tough. Really tough for anyone. Let's take a look at some details of... I want us to take a look at some details of with the friends from Flash Score, as we wrap up the video, friends from Mundo Maldini. Here we have Liverpool 2, Fulham 2. Watch out. If Chelsea wins against Brentford tomorrow, they'll get really close to Liverpool. Let's see what happens in the Manchester derby, because it's almost a second chance for Manchester City to get a little closer, with Arsenal drawing and Liverpool drawing. But, well, Manchester United has to win tomorrow. That match is going to be huge. Notice that even with 1 player less for almost the entire match, Liverpool had more shots, 16 shots, compared to Fulham's 12. This shows the offensive power that this team has. 4 shots on target compared to just 3 for Fulham. It's true that there were a lot of goals, but not many shots on target. But Liverpool had plenty of chances in the final stretch and could have taken the game. Honestly, they could have taken the game, but they didn't. And in the end, notice one detail. This is the first half. In the first half, Liverpool had 4 shots. And in the second half, when the team could have been much more worn out from playing so long with 1 player less, they had 4 shots in the first half and 12 in the second half. The second half has been a nightmare for Fulham, but in the end, Fulham manages to get this draw, which is well deserved, and celebrated by everyone who is fighting for the league title, obviously, or who wants to compete for the league title. Fulham deserves a lot of credit. We'll see if they make it back to Europe, but the team of Marco Silva deserves a lot of credit. By the way, I'll say it again, I think he's a fantastic coach. And the Premier League never disappoints. Friends from Mundo Maldini, more tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have well, you're going to have a video as soon as the Rayo versus Real Madrid match ends. Of course, I'll have a show on Movistar, and you'll also get that video of Rayo versus Real Madrid. And of course, tomorrow, as soon as the Manchester derby is over, there will definitely be a video about the Manchester derby, and then also about Barca versus Leganés. and probably the ratings for Rayo versus Real Madrid tomorrow around 2 p.m. As always, we don't stop. A hug. Bye, 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 bye.